What's going on, guys? Today I'm doing something entirely new. I'm revamping my life, revamping my channel. I have some expertise and I would love to share it with you guys. So let's get right into it. In this video, I'm gonna make it plain and simple, how to build your credit for dummies. Obviously you're not dummies, it's just the saying. I'm gonna break this down into steps for you guys as we go along. I'm 24 now. I started building credit immediately when I was 18. By the time I was 19, I had a 775 credit score. I was able to buy a brand new truck. I am about to purchase my first house at 24. Could have done it earlier, but things happen. I'm recently engaged. But this is how I did it step by step on how I built my credit from nothing, from scratch, all the way to 775. It was a 778 at one point when they ran my credit for my truck. This also works if you already have credit, but it's low, sub 600. So this is going to help you go from a 560 all the way up to a 775, like that. No problem. It shouldn't take much longer than 6 months to a year. Having a high credit score is king, right? So it's really important. It's unfortunate that it controls a lot of aspects of life, but it is what it is, and it's kind of exciting actually, and it's something to be proud of when you build that score up. Step one, you want to apply for a secured credit card. There's a multitude of secured credit cards you can apply for, one being the Wells Fargo one that I did. However, looking back on it now, there are some other ones. I'll bring up this page so you guys can see why Wells Fargo's is a good option. Here's Credit Karma's reasons why they think Wells Fargo's is good. The credit limit's much higher than others if you're willing to put that much down, but that's not that big of a deal, to be honest. So if you go on to Discover, which I recently just transferred banks from Wells Fargo to Discover. Discover, for those of you who don't know, offer 1.4%, I think it is, interest in their savings account, and they have a cashback checking account, which is like 1% on everything you spend on your debit card, which is phenomenal. And there's zero fees, considering Wells Fargo has fees. Anyways, that's a different video, but definitely go check out Discover. These are all the cards that Discover has, and you can even use multiple of these cards as we get further along in the video. As you can see here, there is a Discover secured card. Just go ahead and apply for this guy, follow the steps, and this will be step number one of building your credit. Step two, make your payments on time. Keep your utilization low. It sounds simple, but you'd be amazed that people struggle with this and it ultimately hurts their credit. Payment history makes up like 35% of your credit score. I'll bring up a graph. So it's massive. And in order to be in the excellent range, you need to have 99% plus payment history. Once you get that secured card, you're gonna wanna purchase small things. This is exactly how I did it. Once I got my secured card, I would use it pretty much mainly only for gas, which I would fill up about 3 times a month, because it's an expense that you would already have otherwise. It's not something, oh, I don't have the money for this, I'm gonna put on my secured card. That's a terrible way to start. So go put gas on it, and I would, no joke, as soon as the gas is done filling, I would go onto my credit card, pay off exactly what the gas was. There's a rumor and there's a myth going on out there in the world that having a balance left on your credit cards at the end of each month on your at the end of the billing statement will actually help you boost your credit, and it's a myth. It's not true. You make at least the minimum monthly payment on your secured card every single month. Preferably just get gas, transfer the money over from your bank account to the credit card right away when you're done getting gas, before you even drive off the lot. It's how I did it. And obviously you can buy little things. As long as you have the money for it, buy, pay it off right away. Buy, pay it off right away. And within 5 months of doing this, Wells Fargo in the mail sends a letter saying, congratulations, your secured card is now an unsecured card. Step 3, apply for an unsecured credit card. Research whichever cards interest you. However, the order I did it with mine is my first credit card was Discover. I got that when I was 18, and it's great. All their credit cards, the first year, all the money you spend on the credit card, you get cashback rewards. They'll match it. So I think for the first year, I accumulated like $250 $250, so they matched it with $250. So at the end of the year, I got $500 free money. There's tons that offer sign-up bonuses. It typically will say, get our credit card, sign up. Once you're approved, spend $500 within typically 90 days, or spend X amount of money within X amount of days and receive this bonus. And that's free money. To get into it, something called credit card churning, which tons of people do. As long as you do it responsibly, it's great. It's a way to get free money, travel for free, just applying for cards, meeting the minimum requirements to get the bonuses, and that's it. One thing I did want to tell you guys was try to avoid credit cards that have annual fees. Once you start making more money and you travel more, some of these cards will be beneficial. However, I still currently don't have a credit card with an annual fee, and you probably don't need one in your life. Try to stay away from them if you can. The next step is, and repeat, once you have your first unsecured credit card, you want to do the same thing that you did with the unsecured. Purchase stuff, pay it off right away. Make sure you're at least making the minimum payment. Preferably just pay that baby off every month if you can, and keep your credit utilization low, below 10% of your total credit. So if you have a $1,000 credit limit, make sure there's $100 or less on the balance of your credit card at the end of each statement. And this will ultimately help your score increase. Your first credit card you'll have for another 3 to 4 months. And then when you think you're ready, go apply for another one. And the second one I got, I think, was the Chase Amazon Prime one that gets 5% back on Amazon purchases and 2% back at gas, 1% everywhere else, something like that. And they started me off with like a $5,000 limit right away, and I was only 19 years old. I had 3 credit cards at this point because the Wells Fargo one turned into a real one. I had my Discover and I had my Chase Visa. Buy something on the Discover, buy something on the Chase, buy something on the Wells Fargo, or whatever yours are. Pay it off right away if you can. But once you start getting to like a $10,000, $20,000 limit, it's fine if you have $1,000 or $2,000 on your balances at the end of each month. Just make sure you don't miss a payment. Next step, same thing. Apply for another one. Ideally, I want to see you guys having 3 or 4 credit cards by the time you're 19 and a half. For those of you who are older and are just looking to build your credit, if you don't have 4 credit cards already, take the steps I just mentioned. If you want to reach even a higher tier, so that way anytime you go to apply for an apartment, apply for a home, apply for a loan, or anything like that, you can take a 10-point hit and still be an excellent. If you want to get up to the 760s, 70s, 80s, here's what I did. You can just keep doing the credit card thing, but here's what I did. Had my parents co-sign on a loan for a car. You don't have to have your parents co-sign. You can just go try to apply for a car loan or a motorcycle loan or whatever loan you may be looking for anything. You can do a personal loan. However, personal loans interest rates are, a bit higher than car loans or things like that. But eventually you'll get to a point in your life where you're going to want a new car. I was at about a 760 when I applied for my first car. It took me down to about a 740. I was freaking out. However, within 6 months of making payments on time and more than the minimum payment, but it doesn't have to be, but making a little bit more than the minimum payment after 6 months of that, right around when I was turning 20, my credit went from a 760 to a 740 when I bought my first car, and skyrocketed up to a 770, 775 range. Fast forward 2 years later, when I was 22, sold that car, went into the car dealership on my own, and purchased a brand new truck at a 5.49% interest for 84 months, which is super rare. They offer that because I'm like, look, I went in there, this is what my payment needs to be. I need my payment under $300. If you can't make that happen, I'm out of here. They're like, they treated me like a king, guys. You guys have to understand, they treat you like a king when you go into a dealership with high credit. Go into the dealership, they ran my credit at a 778 at that point, 22 years old. Basically, we'll give you whatever you want. Got my payment below $300, walked out of there, zero money down, the brand new truck, and my payments well within my means. And now I have a new truck. Fast forward 2 years later to me being 24. Now I have 7 credit cards, over $100,000 in credit limits, about to apply for my first home. And it just shows you, it doesn't even take that much work, guys. Secured credit card, make the payments. Apply for an unsecured, make the payments. Apply for another unsecured. Do that 2 to 3 times. Just that alone will get you into the excellent range. I promise you guys. As long as you're managing your utilization, right? Keep it below the 10%. You'll go from 0 to hero in no time, within a year. 90% of you are going to do this within a year if you follow these steps. And I hope that was helpful for you guys. I want you guys to know that I'm not just some random person spewing. I went to my local university here. I have a business degree. I went through the classes. I'm very smart when it comes to finances and things like that. And it's really simple, guys. And taking care of your credit and your finances will set you up for life. And you'll be those people living lavishly when you're in your 40s and 50s, as opposed to those working until they're 60 or 70 years old. Credit is one of the first steps into building wealth. And I want to do some more videos like this. If you need any other advice, ask questions in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. People who have seen my other videos, I answer every single question or comment or concern that people put in my videos. I love interacting with you guys. It's a dream of mine to make videos for people full time. If I were to ever successfully build this channel to that point, I'd be forever grateful. And you guys will help me start that. If you guys can subscribe and leave a like on the video, it helps the YouTube algorithm, so my video will get recommended to people who are in the same boat as you guys, and in turn, it'll help me out drastically. You guys have the power to change my life, and I'm gonna do my best to help you guys change your lives. So let's do this together. Subscribe. I'm gonna rebrand everything on my YouTube channel, start putting out finance videos, other little how-to videos that may be of help. Drop some ideas in the comments, and chances are your idea for my next video you'll see on your timeline hopefully soon. I really appreciate it, guys, and signing off for now. Peace.